Hello, this is English News Broadcast on ERi-TV for Thursday evening, 15th of August 2024. We're live from Mazmar and thank you for joining us. First, the top stars. Contribution of National Festival in preserving national culture and tradition. Eritrean Community Festival in Western Canada. Taliban celebrates 3 years of return to power in Afghanistan. And Pentagon reveals loss in Syria attack. The yearly national festivals reported that have significant contribution in preserving national culture and tradition of the Eritrean people. The National Festival 2024 that is undergoing at Expo Compound is a big testimony to substantiate the significant contribution of the festivals in showcasing the diverse cultures, traditions, and ways of living of the 9 ethnic groups of the country. All 6 regions of the country are displaying their distinct cultures and traditions alongside the historical and ancient heritage in their areas. The displays, according to visitors, have significant contribution not only in developing an understanding of the visitors on the culture, tradition, and way of living of each ethnic group, but also in the development of tourism industry. All the regions reported that they have taken time and resource to make research and study with a view to select which part of the culture activities and traditions as well as historical and ancient heritage to display at the festival. As each ethnic group has its own identified oral tradition, dancing, songs that have been transmitted to generations, it's worth to select for the presentation at the festival for only to enable visitors have a glimpse of the history and way of life of each group. The visitors commending for well-organized display of all regions depicting to their culture, tradition, and way of life, as well as resource and history of their respective region, called for continuously organizing similar displays instead of being confined to the yearly festival so that the young generation fully understands its history, culture, and tradition. Eritrean nationals residing in Western Canada have conducted their annual festival at Edmonton on 3rd and 4th of August with patriotic zeal. The festival that incorporated the 50th anniversary of Bologna Festival featured cultural and artistic programs in which a number of nationals, especially the youth, took part. At the event, the participants expressed their pride for the historic victory of Biniam Girmay at Tour de France 2024. Western Canada incorporates British Columbia, Alberta, Saskatchewan, and Manitoba. Logo Asaba Sabzon conducted a meeting with head of institutions, government and PFDJ representatives and public representatives, focusing on the implementation of the set-out development programs. At the meeting, Mr. Burhanet Agai, Secretary of the PFDJ in the Sabzon, presented detailed report on the programs implemented in the past 6 months, including in water and soil conservation, renovation of roads, support to families of martyrs, and others. Mr. Abraham Hagos, administrator of the Sabzon, gave extensive briefing on the transportation, energy, and communication sectors and discussed on the role of contribution of the youth in the Sabzon. The participants conducted extensive discussion on the issue that were raised at the meeting and adopted various recommendations. Those were local news updates. Stay tuned for international ones. Afghanistan's Taliban has celebrated 3 years in power with a military parade paying homage to its homemade bombs, fighter aircrafts, and goose-stepping security forces. The Taliban's armed force towed Soviet-era tanks and artillery pieces through Bagram, the former United States Airways, where Chinese and Iranian diplomats were among hundreds who gathered for the parade and speeches yesterday. The airbase served as the linchpin for the U.S.-led operations against the Taliban for 2 decades. Taliban force seized Kabul on August 15, 2021 after the U.S.-backed government collapsed and its leaders fled into exile. The anniversary is marked a day earlier on the Afghan calendar. The Taliban government remains unrecognized by any other states, with restrictions on women who bear the brunt of policies and United Nations has called gender apartheid, remaining a key sticking point. 3 years have passed since the dreams of girls have been buried. Madina, a 20-year-old former university student in Kabul, told reporters. Prime Minister Mohammed Hassan Akhund, who had been scheduled to appear at Bagram, praised the Taliban authorities' victory over Western occupiers in a statement read by his chief of staff. The U.S. has blamed Iran for the drone strikes on its base in the northeastern of the country. 8 U.S. troops were injured in a drone attack on their base in northeastern Syria, the Pentagon has revealed. Initial reports of the strike mentioned no casualties. According to footage shared online last week, a drone may have started a fire at the installation in Rimlan, near the border with Turkey and Iraq. Air Force Major General Patrick Ryder, the spokesperson for the U.S. Department of Defense, revealed the number of injuries for reporters yesterday. The 8 personnel affected were treated for traumatic brain injury and smoke inhalation, he added, and 3 of them have already returned to duty. According to Ryder, the U.S. believes that Iran-backed forces carried out the attack, but the Pentagon is still working to determine which particular militia may have been behind it. Initial reports of the drone strikes at Rimland did not disclose injuries, but as unnamed U.S. official told reporters last Friday that medical evaluation and damage assessment were ongoing. Before we go, we have a quick recap of the top stars. Contribution of National Festival in preserving national culture and tradition. Eritrean Community Festival in Western Canada. Taliban celebrates 3 years of return to power in Afghanistan. Pentagon reveals loss in Syria attack. And that wraps up our news broadcast for now. Thank you for watching. Good night, everyone.